This is the plaintiff, Fong Niam. He says the defendant is his neighbor, and he's been harassing him and his family mercilessly since he moved in 6 years ago. The guy smashed his security camera in a fit of rage. He damaged his stone wall, and he's here suing the troublemaker for the $2,400 he says he's owed. This is the defendant, John Brandstetter. He says he took the camera down and handed it back to the plaintiff when he refused to take it down and stop filming him. Now the guy is lying again because he didn't damage his stone wall, and the plaintiff should be the one who's ashamed of himself. He's accused of losing control.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's been harassing him like crazy, and he's not going to take it anymore. But the defendant says he didn't do anything to the plaintiff or his property, and this lawsuit was filed as a form of retaliation against him, and he's not happy about it. It's the case of losing it on a...
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Niam, you are suing Mr. Brandstetter, your neighbor, for $2,400 in damages to your property as well as harassment that you say he is exhibiting towards you. Can you please tell me what is going on between you and your neighbor?
Yes, Your Honor. I live here since 2004. I own a property which is adjacent to the main street. On June 19th, 2020, there were over 30 FBI agents in technical gear raided the defendant's house. They rammed through the gate, smashed through his front door, and smoke bombed his house. After that, the defendant been asking me about the footage, scare footage of the raid. I did provide whatever I can, but I guess he was not satisfied. So on November 1st, 2020, the defendant texted me, if your car get hit, I'm not liable, and you have come across the line also. Your parking on the road is a problem.
Okay, well,
So
when you
that-
said, hey, yes, John, I went up to show you my documents, but you're not home. What documents were you talking about?
John was asking about my contract, purchase contract, or whatever, that I have bought the property for. So I guess, he wanted to see my purchase
Why,
contract.
though? Give me, tell me why he wants to see your purchase documents. It has to do with the easement, right? What is his beef with you? He feels like you built a gate on the easement. What exactly is his problem? You want me to just ask him, or you want to tell me? You don't know. Okay. Mr. Brandstetter, what is your problem with your neighbor?
My problem with my neighbor is we've owned this property. My parents have owned this property and the property behind here since the late 70s, early 80s. And he moved in. He built a house on a piece of property that was along the side of the easement. He claims he acquired the road that we have an easement, and he's destroyed all the things along the road. My father had problems with him previously, and he is actually the one that harasses everyone. I spend no time talking to this guy whatsoever.
What do you say he did to the easement? He built a house on it? He built a gate on it?
He removed a bunch of items that were along the easement.
What?
Which were a gas lamp that was at the entrance, gates and wagon wheels that were at the entrance, the gate opener to my electric gate that were at the entrance, and then recently he claimed to own my gas lamp, which the gas lamps and the lines run the length of the driveway. He also
okay, but hold on. You understand there's a difference between you owning property and you having an easement. An easement only allows you to come in and out. It doesn't allow you to plant stuff, wagon wheels, and other things.
This stuff was there before he purchased
I don't care if that stuff was there since Moses. It doesn't. Okay. You have only the rights you have, and you're, what your rights are. If you have an easement, he's stuck with the easement. That means he has to keep it ingress and egress open for you and the other house to use it to come in and out. That's what an easement is. He knows that when he buys a property because it's subject to an easement. But that doesn't entitle you to plant flowers or put a wagon wheel or other stuff. I don't care if it's there since the 70s.
Although the stuff has been there and it was actually listed in the easement originally.
No, there's no. A wagon wheel is not something listed in an easement. Okay? An easement is a legal right for ingress and egress on a piece of property. That's legally what an easement is.
Right. There's a question.
But I'd love to see the easement that says that the wagon wheel comes. Do you have that easement that says that?
I have a letter that was sent to him. I'd have to dig up, but it's from my father that was sent.
Yeah, I don't care what your
I
father
don't have
says
it
either,
handy.
with all due respect. So what documents were you asking Mr. Neum for?
The documents I was asking Mr. Neum for was the road purchase that he claims he purchased that was part of the easement to this house that has been part of this property since this place existed. He claims he bought the road out of a thing which the
what is the
previous
road?
owner-
I'm sorry. What is the road? I don't know what that means.
Okay, there's a piece. This property has a road that went to this house. If you can see the photos, there's a road that you can see.
Yeah, I can see
And you
that
can
road,
see
but that usually is what the easement is. So what is it that he told you
but
he
that-
bought?
He claims he bought that road recently, but he won't show me the sale paper
Okay,
for it.
Mr. Neum, tell me what he is referring to that you are saying that you bought. Because if you bought the house subject to an easement, the easement's still there. So what is he talking about that you were talking about?
Well, the easement is still there. I still let him go in and out. What I did was I went to the city and applied to build a house there. And the city approved everything.
Okay, so there was no house there at the time that you bought the property?
There was no house in the area that I built the house on.
Okay.
Okay? It was my backyard.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Maybe,
Here's my question.
Yeah.
So when he says that you said you purchased something from the city, what is he talking about? You didn't purchase anything from the city. You permitted to be able to build another structure on your property?
Yes. Okay. So what happened is that in 2010, I bought the 25 by 175 piece of land that is next to my, original house.
Okay.
In 2014, I did a lot line adjustment to make it into a flag lot, combining that driveway and my property, to build a house using that driveway into my house.
But the driveway we're talking about, what does that have to do with the easement?
The driveway is to provide the easement to his house and to the property on the back of his house.
Did you build anything on the property that is the subject of the
I did
easement?
not.
All right,
No.
so what's his
No, I did
problem,
not.
do you think? What do you think is his problem?
Well, there's a number of things. One is, basically going back to the rate. He's been asking for the video. I guess I didn't provide sufficient video. After all his threat, I put more security camera. And on the day that he took down my camera, there was a gas company blocking the driveway. And I guess he got upset and he ran down and took my security camera and threw it away.
First of all, Mr. Brandstetter, can you tell me what the feds were at your house for?
Actually, it has something to do with him because he was actually some kind of a lookout for the drug dealers that rented the house that used to be my father's behind me. And what happened here at my house was that I had been out of the country and I actually had my sister's husband's brother watching my house, and then he was staying at my house and his wife swatted him, and I have an ongoing court case with that right now.
His wife what?
His wife, I guess, filed some frivolous stuff that I think is frivolous, and
I'm
then he
sorry.
was staying
I'm
at my
looking
house.
at this
He had no place
video
to
and I'm
stay.
trying to get to the bottom of it, and it's not just a domestic violence issue, because I've never seen
I've never seen
this
that
kind
either,
of
and
response to a
that's-
domestic violence issue. So let's see what we're looking
well,
at
we-
here. So who is that? What agency is that?
Okay, well, that's Riverside PD, and they are actually coming over here because my husband's brother-in-law was staying at my house, and he didn't, I guess, show up to some court thing for some divorce thing for her, and they claimed he was violent, and then they came from Riverside out here.
Okay, it sounds like what you're
That's what
saying
I
is that
know.
there's a warrant for his arrest, and so they were executing the warrant?
That's correct, but
Oh.
he wasn't. She claimed he was violent.
What
and
were the
that's-
drug
that's
dealers?
not
What did
true.
the drug dealers have to do with anything?
The drug dealers on the house behind me, which Paul was, I guess, to look out because I have a video of them I didn't submit because I didn't know we were doing this, of him talking to the drug dealers that were doing pot in my father's old house.
Okay, but I thought you said he
And
was a
then he
lookout
talks
for the
to them
cops.
He is, because he sits there and talks to him in my front yard. I have video of that. I haven't provided that.
Okay, well, I can't look at something you don't provide. Let's talk about
Well, I
this
didn't
video,
know we were
because
talking
are
about
these
this.
photos,
Yeah.
because I'm very interested in these photos. Part of what he's suing you for are these
Mm-hmm.
pictures he has of you literally walking up to his camera that is
Mm-hmm.
underneath this
That's my lamp.
post.
Yeah.
How is that your
My
lamp?
That is my lamp. It's been my lamp. I have photos of it before the property was built.
Hold on. I'm very confused. Whose gate is that?
That is my gate, and that is my lamp, and that is my pole.
So your gate
Everything you
is
see in
built.
that
I'm
photo.
sorry. Stop. So why is your lamp post outside of your gate?
That lamp has been there since the house was purchased, and that has gas lines that run up and down this road, which is the part that we don't know how he claims to own this road now.
Can I ask you a question? Have you filed a lawsuit?
We're in the midst of doing that.
What in the
and
midst
we're
of
looking
doing
into
that, you've either that's like being a little bit pregnant. Have you filed a lawsuit? Yes or no? You either have or you haven't.
We haven't, but we have several other neighbors that are probably going to be doing something because he's also trying to modify the backyards of several of the people.
Okay, well, here's what I've got. I've got you saying he's violating, and I've got him saying he's not, and you actually have an opinion from the county saying that you're not. So apparently they're just not enforcing the way you want them to. After consulting with several staff members from regional planning, after my inspection, there does not appear to be an issue with this parcel at this time. Mr. Neum, according to you, your lawsuit here today is because he has harassed you, $1,800 for harassment, and the rest of it for damage that you say he did. Tell me about the harassment.
I started the project 2018. Ever since then, he harassed me about the contractors, about the work, people blocking.
Well, if they're blocking, they're blocking. How is that harassment to tell you, hey, they're blocking?
Well, harassed my sister and my brother-in-law.
How did he harass your sister and your brother-in-law?
Asking questions when it's none of his privacy.
Like what kind of questions?
I think they were asking do you live here? Do you rent here? Those sort of questions, but my brother-in-law didn't answer. He flying drones over my house.
Drones?
To look. Drones, yeah.
Someone flew a drone over my pool when my 3 daughters were in bikinis. And I've never wanted a BB gun. I wanted a BB gun so badly. I thought let me tell you, if I'd had one in my hands, I
guess I'm kind of glad you didn't.
Honestly, if I was a better aim, I would have just thrown stones. But all right, let's talk about your videos, because according to you, you have him on video damaging some stuff. Let's talk about that and let's take a look at that.
Yes. So I installed additional camera after I received his text.
Is this his gas lamp or is this your gas lamp that's in this picture?
It's on my side of the property, and the county inspector said whatever
is it on my side of the property. Or is it not on the easement?
No, it's not on the easement.
It's not?
No, it's not on the easement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you put that camera, which is that little black thing on the right side, and here's a picture of him grabbing the little black thing on the right side. Here's a picture of him with the little black thing missing, and it's probably in his hand. Here's a picture of him walking away with the little black thing in his hand. Where's the camera? What'd you do with the camera, Mr. Brandstetter?
I gave it back to him, and it's actually on his wall.
That?
It's in the evidence.
Can you prove that?
Yes, I can. It's on his wall.
Okay, Mr. Neum, did he give you back your camera?
No, he did not give me back. What
yes,
happened?
I did, Paul.
Go ahead, Mr. Neum, and only Mr. Neum. Go ahead.
So after he took the camera, he threw it away on his side of the property. After an hour and a half later, he came back and started taking my personal stuff from my property. And then at that time, he went and picked up the camera from his side of the property and threw it onto my side of the property, where he damaged all my wall cap.
Okay. You are suing for 5 wall caps. Let's look at the pictures of the wall caps. All right. Now I see 2 broken wall caps. Where are the other 3?
I don't have a picture with 5. I have a picture, an invoice for the contractor.
Yeah, I know you have an invoice for it. I want to know if you have a picture of 5 broken wall caps. Yes or no?
I don't have 5.
I need proof of 5 damaged ones. And according to you, do you have him on video damaging them, or you believe it's him who damaged them because he's the guy who has a problem with everything you do?
The videos that I didn't capture his action. I only captured when he started doing it, because the video stopped, after 14 seconds.
Okay.
Or after.
So let's see that video. Is that him in the car?
Yes.
What are you doing? Mr. Brandstetter, what are you doing there?
That is the camera that's on my lamp.
Prove that lamp is on your property. I need you to prove that. And if you acknowledge that it's not on your property, then you don't have any business going to his property to move stuff, throw things around, or anything else. So now prove to me with a survey that where you are dismantling things is your property as opposed to that you're a criminal.
That lamp was just magnetically attached to that. I just took it off and handed it to him. I didn't
First of all, this is not a video of that. This is a video of something else, okay?
That is a video of only that.
No, it's not.
I'm not doing anything over there.
Let's see. There you are.
Right, and I'm
you are
looking at the
nowhere
lamp.
near the lamp. You're picking up stuff that's lying there and you're throwing it on the ground. Then you're yanking out the extension cord and throwing it on the ground.
Which is plugged.
And now you're picking up something else and throwing it on and taking it. What on earth?
Okay.
That is not the camera that was on the lamp that I have pictures of you removing. All right.
That is the camera that was on the lamp, and there's stuff on the ground.
No, it's not.
Okay, there's stuff on the ground that's broken.
So what else did he do besides the security camera and the wall caps, Mr. Neum? Is there anything else that he destroyed?
No, nothing else destroyed. But, Your Honor, I hope my evidence shows my defendant's attitude toward me. I have no problem with any of the neighbors.
Why don't you show the police these videos and show that he is perpetually trespassing on your land?
I did.
Did they ever tell you, hey, we're not going to do anything? Or according to them, it's pending?
It's pending.
Have the police ever knocked on your door or talked to you, Mr. Brandstetter, about this?
Yes, they have.
And what happened?
Paul has been trespassing on my property many times.
Okay, but then maybe both of you should get arrested. My question to you is, what happened with the police and the video? Did they show you the video? Did they tell you to stop going over there? What happened?
They told me not to talk to him, but I don't talk to him anyways. I never go over there and talk to him. The only thing I've ever done was remove that camera and handed it back to him. And that fence that you saw with the brick wall, that is my wall and my bricks.
No, it's not. Prove it.
Yes, it is. That's on my property. That's along my property line.
Show me a survey that says that's your property. It's not. At best, it's your easement, which is not your protty, which we know you have a tendency to confuse because you've been confusing it this whole game. My wheel wagons were on there, and it was us. And this man doesn't have a right to. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Okay?
Okay.
I'm ordering you to pay Mr. Neum $350 for the security camera and for what I find to be the value of the stone wall caps that he has been able to prove to me. Mr. Neum, listen to me. What you need to do is anytime you see him on camera trespassing onto your property, at that moment, you call the police and tell them he's done it again. And you file a complaint and you go through with it. And then if he does it again, at that moment, you call the police and tell them he's done it again. And you file a complaint and you go through with it. That's what you have to do. Because according to the city and according to the surveys, that is your property, which at best, he has a right of easement, not an ownership interest. Okay? Verdict for the plaintiff, $350.
So the plaintiff gets a judgment for $350 against Mr. Brandstetter, the defendant. Mr. Brandstetter, what do you think about what the judge just told the plaintiff? And what do you think about the ruling?
I think she didn't really listen to me, and the plaintiff's a shyster, and he does this all the time. And I don't talk to him. I've never met or spoke with his sister or brother that he claims. And the fence in that she doesn't understand the layout of the property.
Well, the judge made the decision, and you've got to pay him that money, so you're going to have to do it. How about that? How do you feel about that? You're not thrilled, right?
Not good, because the camera only cost $35.
Okay, Mr. Neum, let me ask you, how do you feel about the judge's decision and about what she told you ought to do if you see him on your property?
No, he have the right to, go egress and egress, to his house. And I know I have my video camera on, and if anything, I guess detrimental to my family, of course, I will contact the police and file a report.
All right. Congratulations. Good for you. All right, Harvey, this is an interesting case. What do you think?
Doug, I got to tell you, you've heard the old saying, a man's home is his castle. It should be a person's home is his or her castle. But in a situation like this one, it's very common that when you tread onto your neighbor's property, that is sometimes a declaration of war. People are very territorial when it comes to this. And even if you think you have a right to do it, is it really worth it when you know that you're triggering a war with the person next door to you? Nobody wants that. So communication is critical. That if you think there's an easement where you have a right to go on that land, fine. But communicate with the neighbor, make it clear what you're doing, so then when you go on the property, at least there's a history. And frankly, you should also put that in writing.
When Marilyn found out she was pregnant, how did she tell John?
The first time you got pregnant, this is a memorable moment. I'll never forget it, but at the same time, it's bittersweet because in the end, she didn't keep this baby. She lost this baby to miscarriage after a couple months, I think, 2 or 3 months. But I remember we were in Coconut Grove. We were living together in a house in Coconut Grove in Florida, and you brought me some knitted booties. Like
we were married.
We were married.
Okay.
We were married. But you brought me these little knitted booties and you handed them to me.
I wrapped them.
You wrapped them and I unwrapped them. I looked at them like, this is wonderful. Someone's going to have a baby. And I was like, and then you kind of had to explain it to me a little further, right? And you did a little puppet show. But you did explain it to me. And I was like, oh my God, it was wonderful. And that was a special day.